My name is Kate Schmidt. I work at the American Museum of Natural History. And I wanted to start tonight off with a question. How many of us here moved to New York City? Like we are not a native New Yorker.
Oh my God, you transplants.
Welcome.
Sorry, I'm from Texas.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Yay!
Woo! And when I first moved to New York City, I very much had to adapt to the New York City life. I had to learn how to run to the subway. I had to learn that jaywalking is just a survival skill. And I really had to find my favorite local cuisine haunts. And just like I had to adapt to New York City life, the animals and wildlife that live here in New York City also have to adapt. The animals here have even gotten to enjoy some of the food that we also enjoy, such as these pigeons eating pizza, and this raccoon eating pizza, and this squirrel eating pizza, and of course, iconic Pizza Rat eating pizza. Give it up for Pizza Rat! But New York City is a host to an amazing amount of biodiversity. We have over 30,000 acres of parklands in our city. And recently, there's been some really interesting wildlife spotted here. We have some coyotes. Actually, their population has doubled. We've gone from 1 coyote to 2. Humpback whales have been seen in increasing frequency as we clean up our estuaries around the coast, and we even have bald eagles roaming around New York City. This is Rover. He's been spotted in parts of Brooklyn. Also, fun fact about bald eagles, they love trash. I really love this headline, Bald Eagles Love Trash, Drop Garbage on Human Neighbors, because...
Just like America.
I was going to say, there's something very poetic about the national symbol of America dropping literal garbage on its population right now.
And our neighbors.
Yeah. There's even a species of fly that has been found only in Central Park, and it feeds exclusively on duck poop. And this fly probably could not exist outside of an urban setting because in an unaltered habitat, ducks would be pooping in water, that poop would disintegrate, and here in the city, ducks poop on the concrete, which we've all experienced, and the fly has a food source. But the animal that I really want to talk to you tonight about is, of course, the humble beaver.
Hell yeah.
Look at him transporting a stick.
So diligent.
I know.
Industrious as fuck.
He really is. The beaver has a long history here in New York State and New York City. And we're just going to start off with a few fun beaver facts. Yes, there are so many puns to be made, including beaver knowledge. First of all, they are the largest rodent found in North America. They can hold their breath for up to 15 minutes.
Wow.
I know. Their teeth never stop growing, and they have an iron-rich enamel in them. This is actually true of all rodents, that their teeth never stop growing. But my favorite thing about the beaver is that they are second only to humans in how much they change their environment. Beavers don't necessarily adapt to their environment so much as they make the environment adapt to them. For example, this is 7 Mile Creek out in Utah, and on the left, there is a beaver dam, and on the right is the rest of the creek. When beavers build a dam, that water starts to pool, which means that the trees that the beavers use for both their dams and lodges and food can grow more plentiful. But as those trees grow, they attract other animals. There are homes to many types of animals in that ecosystem, and they can completely transform their ecosystem. They are also incredible engineers. I mean, look at this. This is better than my studio apartment in Queens. They got a pool, they got a foyer, they got everything.
You do have to enter underwater, though, as well, right?
Yeah, but, I maybe can hold my breath for 15 minutes.
And it was only $4,000 a month.
They're also incredibly, like Noah said, industrious. Beavers have been known to use PVC pipes to build their dams and lodges, and kind of morbidly like the dead skulls of their beaver families, but we all need support in some way. But aside from their amazing engineering skills, beavers have a long history here in particularly New York City. They're so important that they're found on the New York City seal itself. And that's because of the beaver fur pelt trade.
You know what else you see is an eagle about to drop some trash.
You do.
I really thought they were rats.
If it was a short trade route to Asia that brought the Dutch here, it was the beavers that made them stay. And the beaver fur pelt trade was an enormous moneymaker in the history of New York City, and it is arguably why New York City has the wealth that it does today. Europeans went crazy for felt hats in the 1600s. You know what you need for a felt hat? You need a beaver fur pelt. In fact, there is one man, John Jacob Astor. If you've ever been to the Astor Place subway stop, you might have noticed the beaver etching in it. John Jacob Astor is historically the first multimillionaire in American history, and he made his entire wealth off the beaver fur pelt trade. At the time of his death, he then invested all of that wealth into real estate, which is why you see the Astor name everywhere. Even in the museum I work at, there's the Astor turret. But at the time of his death, he had about $20 to $30 million, which in today's money is $727 billion. This was 1% of the entire United States GDP at the time. There's a quote from a senator that says, "1 in every $100 in the country ends up in J. Astor's hands." And you can lay that strictly at the feet of the Beavers.
Whoa.
Those
I'm telling you.
motherfuckers.
Those damn billionaires. Thank you. Unfortunately, due to the massive fur trade, the beaver population was decimated, and they almost went extinct in the early 19th century, but they're back! And they're encountering the NYPD. The first beaver
Free that beaver.
Free that beaver! Get him out of that ice cream box. The first beaver in over 200 years was spotted in New York City in 2007 along the Bronx River. And since then, they've been spotted in Brooklyn, Manhattan, the Bronx. They are here. They are back. Nature is healing. So if beavers are back, we should really learn how to live with them. So some tips for living with beavers. First and foremost, if you find an area that has a beaver dam in it, don't interfere with that dam. You can actually just call the New York Department of Environmental Protection and be like, "Hey, there's a dam over here," and they'll be like, "On it." And
It's staffed by beavers.
They're like, "Wood? I'm on my way." Secondly, observe and enjoy beavers from a distance. Beavers are very shy animals. They also live in family groups. They have grandparents and children with them. Also, don't forget their teeth are reinforced with iron. I would not approach a beaver. Secondly, if you do find like beaver damage on your plants and trees, you can just put like a simple mesh around those plants and trees, and that will deter the beaver enough. They'll be like, there's a better tree over there. And if you do sight a beaver, you can report your beaver sighting to Wildlife NYC, report a sighting. This is true for many types of wildlife. And then the Department of Environmental Protection can come and monitor their population. And this is just really good. Any documented sightings of a beaver can help us understand how the beavers are populating here in New York City. So I wanted to end this talk with, I haven't seen a beaver in Central Park, but I have seen some very cool things. And these are just some stuff that I personally have seen in Central Park.
Brag.
Everything from, I know, spend a lot of time in parks. A red-tailed hawk to a monarch butterfly caterpillar to a stag beetle to a bullfrog tadpole to a blue jay. I haven't seen a beaver yet, but I'm hopeful. Thank you. Woo!
Keep it going for Kate Schmidt.